Three huge points for Arsenal. That was huge points because City won earlier today. They easily took care of business against West Ham. So this game, Arsenal needed to win to go back on top of the table. They couldn't afford to drop points. So major pressure was on Arsenal today. They managed to get the job done. It wasn't the best win. It wasn't, the most straightforward win. I honestly don't think Arsenal had the best of games. It's very similar in ways to the performance against Wolves last week, but they got the job done in the end with a goal from Viktor Gyokeres from a penalty. Great penalty. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about in terms of the lineup, the way Arsenal played in both halves, the controversial penalty call for Everton. But before we get into it, guys, please like, subscribe. We just cleared 100 subscribers earlier last week, and we're on the road to 200, I believe, and we're almost there. We're almost, we're on the way. We're so close to 150, which is insane to me, guys. I actually can't believe it. It's football, I love to hear opinions. I love to invite discussions. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But I think Arsenal should have taken their chances better in that second half to, put the game to bed. Trossard hitting the post, Zubimendi hitting the post, Saka having a really good chance to put it to 2-0. But I do think that Saliba, for as good as he was, I thought, for the first half, that second half he looked a bit shaky. I think Barry and Beto, when Beto got substituted on in that second half, gave Saliba a little bit of trouble. I'll get into the penalty decision in a minute, but I want to talk about Gyokeres first. Now, Gyokeres today, I don't think he had an amazing game. There are moments and times where I thought that, he did the right thing, made the right decision, got into really good areas here and there. Saliba fed him a pretty decent ball. But I also do think that, he does make the runs in behind. I do think there were like 3 or 4 instances today where he does make really good runs in behind. But either the players, whether it's Odegaard, whether it's Saka, whoever, Rice, they play him too late or the pass is poor. So I feel like that kind of brings down his image a little bit because he's not really getting the service that he requires. But at the same time, when he does get service, there is probably a 50-50 chance that he does lose the ball. And it's one of those situations where I do feel like Arsenal players around him don't really know when to pass to him and where. Because they don't know if they want to keep the ball or they actually want to give him the chance to shoot and score. Because he often just takes, one touch anyways when holding up the play. And if that, sometimes he actually does lose the ball. But for example, Odegaard, just before halftime, Gyökeres makes a really nice run on the right-hand side. All he needs is just a nice through ball. Hits it first time, it could be a goal, could be on target, something. Could be a chance. Odegaard overhits the pass and he sends Gyökeres even further down to the byline, and he doesn't do anything with it because he's not so creatively gifted. It's moments like that really make it confusing because it seems like he is trying to, adapt to the best he can to the standard of the Premier League. What to expect, how to play, how to be a number 9 in this league. But it's also like the players around him are trying to adapt to him being there, the way he plays. So it's like kind of confusing in that sense. And you can tell for the majority of his game time, I think he was only on for like 60 minutes today anyways. In simple terms, Gyökeres has one style playing. All these other guys, Saka, Odegaard, all these guys have one style playing. And it's like kind of clashing. And it makes like the attack look a bit flat. And I thought that the second half, they were a lot better in terms of carving chances open. Timber, Trossard getting in behind, Calafiori getting in behind, like typically how Arsenal actually do carve teams open. I thought that it was like much more visible in that second half. They should have taken their chances better. They missed it, which could have been costly later. So yeah, at least for Gyökeres, it is a bit underwhelming right now. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares for the second half of the season. I do think that there's a lot to improve on, and there's still, the best yet to see of him. That penalty call, or I should say that potential penalty call, guys, I think Arsenal got lucky there. I think Arsenal got very lucky. I think Saliba, he's a lucky boy. He's a lucky boy. Because when I saw the replay and I saw it in slow-mo, Barry gets to the ball first. Saliba hits the bottom of his foot. And when I saw that, I'm like,
my word, we'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look.
So I'm like, that's a pen. I'm like, that is 100% a pen. Like, I don't see why that wouldn't be given a pen. And then the ref, he didn't really give an explanation. I mean, they don't give explanations when, they don't go to the monitor, but they waved it off. I didn't really know what the commentator said as to why they waved it off. But I do think Arsenal caught life there. They caught a little bit of life there, in my opinion. But besides that, it's not like Everton really created anything from that second half. I think Raya was very good in terms of claiming crosses, making him, feel present in that box. A real, confident performance from him. And Arsenal's defense, I mean, it's not like, they had too much to deal with in that second half. It's more so, I think in terms of the midfield and attack, though, you'd expect a lot better from Arsenal. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard today, I don't think they were, exceptional. Yes, they were great defensively, but like going forward, you'd expect a lot better. Because remember, guys, this is an Everton side with no Iliman Ndiaye, with no Dewsbury Hall, Who else is missing? With no Idrissa Gueye, a couple other players who have also left for AFCON. You'd expect Arsenal to just steamroll them, in my opinion. This is a team that's top of the league for a reason. You know, it's not like they played bad football. They played decent football. Everton are 10th, but they're coming off of a loss. You'd expect Arsenal to beat them comfortably. And yes, don't get me wrong, 3 points, you take it. You know, Everton away is never an easy game. But just considering the circumstances of how they're not fully strength, you know, they're missing key players, you'd expect a much better performance from a fully strength Arsenal. Besides Gabriel, that was Arsenal's lineup this season, 100%. So if we were to get into like player performances, I do think that, you know, Saka, I don't think besides that, I guess that one chance he had, he didn't really do too much this game. I don't think he had like the greatest of games. Trossard again was okay. I think the attack was just flat today again. You know, I as much as like you see a lot of greens here, guys, it's not really true. I do think that I actually thought that Garner and Tim, I think that's his name. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But Tim over here actually made it difficult for these three to actually progress the ball forward. So like I have to give credit to Everton for that. But overall, like, you know, it's just one of those games where you just take the 3 points. You know, it's not like Everton away, tough game in general. You just take the 3 points. Arsenal top of the league by 2 points. They move on. You know, it's big 3 points in the bank. Packed schedule. There's no point of, you know, over analyzing these type of games. You just take the 3 points, bank him, and you move. But yeah, I honestly wasn't gonna make this video because it was like an okay game. I just wanted to specifically talk about like a couple players. You know, I do think that it is worth talking about it. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If I missed out on anything, please do let me know. And again, like, share, and subscribe. It's been fun. I've been enjoying this as a hobby. You know, I love football. As you guys know, it's my passion since I was a kid. And I will see you guys for probably Barcelona tomorrow. Big game, Villarreal away. Peace.